Hello Flosstube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen and this is my fiber web where we talk about cross stitch. I also share knitting and crochet, but I am not going to do that today because today is sort of a special episode where I'm going to go through and do sort of a stash dive of the things that I would like to start soon. I do not actually have plans to start any of these things. I'm in a let's see how much I can get finished this year mode right now. But I think maybe just to satisfy the itch when I saw other people doing a lot of New Year new starts or new starts for the New Year's Eve 12 by 12, I just wanted to go through my stash and see what I had that I'm still excited to start soon. So this is not everything that I have at all, and it is going to be a mix of PDFs that I will pop the picture up on the screen for you and physical charts that I have, and there's a couple kits. So I thought I would just go through the ones that might sneak into my whip pile this year if I have a chance or I feel like I want a new start. So again, I don't have any plans to actually start any of these. So this is my danger video where if people are like, I'll start that with you, I might say yes. So but I'm going to do it anyway because there were several of you commented on my last video that you would like to see this, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. Today is Saturday, January 17th. I think I'm just going to mark this as like a regular Flosstube video and give it a number, which I think is number 53. But I'm not going to show you my current like cross stitch progress or any knitting or anything in this video. So if you just want to see that, then I hope you come back for the next one, which should happen sometime this week during the week while my kids are at school. Okay, so I have just 3 things that are, or maybe 4. I have a few things that are like pre-made kits that I bought that I'm going to show you first, and then I'm going to go through the PDFs so it'll be easy for me to edit and put those all in, and then I'll take you through the paper charts. Yeah, so I'm just going to jump in. These are things that I would like to start theoretically, but have no plans to start. Okay. First I have 2 Mill Hill kits, like little ornament ones. The first one is Autumn Harvest, which is this cute little camper. I mean, okay, it's the Autumn Harvest collection, but it's called Happy Camper. And then the other one, this one was a gift. It's also the Autumn Harvest collection, but it is called Hootie, and it's this little owl. So these 2 are on my radar. I also have a collection of these country cross stitch kits that feature birds, and they all came with the frames. So I already stitched one that was bluebirds and it had a heart-shaped wooden frame, and so I pulled one of the other ones because I've only stitched that one. So I don't know, this is called Wrens, I think, but the title is only inside on the instructions, but I do have the frame that goes with this. So I pulled that one. And then the last kit I have to show you is this Hummel Kids Needle Treasures kit called Stormy Weather. I have seen this artwork show up on social media recently, but it was embroidery, I think, not cross stitch, and people were putting their own words around it. But yeah, I like this cross stitch one, and I would just be using the kit materials, so it has Ada and all these colors. And then since I pulled this, I also decided to just grab this book. So I also have this book. It's not a kit, obviously, but it has a bunch more patterns based on the Hummel Kids. So here's the color photo that has all the different ones that are in this book. So the Stormy Weather one is in here, but I would use the kit. And yeah, so I have all these patterns as well. Okay, so now I'm going to go through some PDFs that I have. Some of these are freebies. The first one is, I'm not sure if any of the other ones are, but the first one is, I believe, a freebie from Barbara Anna. It is called The Key, so I will show you what that looks like. I have a little folder full of Barbara Anna stuff, and I think I've only I've only stitched a couple. I did the Mad Hatter one and the David Bowie one. And I'm not sure if I have any other Barbara Anna whips right now in progress. So I decided to pick one. And like I said, I think this one is a freebie. And then the next one that's on my radar is Bird Herd from Boomerang Stitches. So I do have one whip in my pile designed by Amity, and that is My Flowers. And I did Freak for the Beak. Oh, there's a little pillow up here. I just picked two of the birds that had a little heart between them. And so that's just like a snippet of that chart. But I would really like to do Bird Herd. And I'm not sure if I would do Bird Herd or Bird Nerd, but that one is on my radar. Next up, I have a Carolyn Manning. So I finished my first Carolyn Manning Shooting Star Collection piece last year, maybe? And it was, oh gosh, what was it called? It was fall colors like oranges and greens. I don't remember what it is called. That's silly. Prairie Wind. That's the one that I did. So I finished that one, and I was planning to start another one of her Shooting Star collection because I have purchased a bunch of them. She has sales pretty regularly for the PDFs on her website. So I have a stash of those, and the one that I think I would start if I was going to start one is Lenten Rose. So that is on the list. And then next I have this pattern from Cozy Egg called Lie Light. I also am interested in stitching the, what's it called, like something about the last days of summer, the sampler that she came out with last year. But I don't think I've ever stitched a Cozy Egg pattern, so I figured maybe I would start with a smaller one. So Lie Light is the one that I picked. I was planning to start that one in October of this year, but I did not get to it. The next one on the list is Heartstring Samplery's Scary Sampler. So I also have this as a PDF, and would love to start that at some point. I don't remember if that one was on my wheel for October or not, but it's a bigger one, so it might not have been because I think I was trying to pick smaller ones this year. And then next I have an Ink Circles piece called Foul Mood. I bought this one when a bunch of people were excited about it, and I was excited about it, but I never started it. I think at the time I was maybe getting going with an Ink Circles round robin, so I didn't want to like over Ink Circles myself. But that one's on the list. And then I have a few PDFs from Kathy Barrick. Kathy Barrick is one of my favorite designers, and I have like a pretty good collection of her patterns in print that I have not stitched. So I pulled a couple that I will show you in a second, but the first one on my list of Kathy Barrick things to start this year would be Thomas, which I have as a PDF, so I will show you what that looks like. The colors are amazing. I know there are several other people stitching this or just finished stitching it. I would love to have that in my whip pile. And then the other ones from Kathy Barrick that I pulled are this Quaker Alphabet sampler. It's pretty simple and small. But yeah, I would like to do that one. And then also the Moons of 2022. This one, I considered starting this for my full moon stitch this year, but I chose a smaller one, 12 of the Clock, instead. But I might start this one if I finish 12 of the Clock early. And then I think what I would do, since there are 13 moons this year and there's only 12 spaces for moons on here, is I would just work on like the all the other stuff and then fill in the moons next year when there's 12 again. But yeah, that's a possibility. And then the next one I have is a design from Love Poppet. So I have stitched two of Claire from Love Poppet's mystery stitch-alongs. I did, oh, the name just fell out of my head again. There's a Halloween one that has something to do with Midnight Riders or something like that. It has a witch and bats and owls in front of like the lattice moon. So I finished that one, and then I also started a Christmas themed one. I think it's called Oh Christmas Tree. That is in my whip pile. So this Dreaming of Summer one, somehow I missed when the stitch along actually happened, but I bought the pattern and I love it. So that one, I wanted to start it last year and I didn't get around to it. So that one is still on the list of things I would love to start. And then the next one, this one was a gift. It might have been, I don't remember if I technically won this as part of a stitching game hosted by, or a stitching game that happened in the Zoom group that I'm in, or if it was a gift. But anyway, I got a gift card, and I like an Etsy gift card, and I chose to get Art Nouveau Owl by Needle-Lot Designs, and I still have not started this one. I think this was on my radar for my owl themed stitch along in September, but I did not get around to starting it, so that one's on there. And then I have Botanical Study by Pedal Pusher. I bought this chart and kitted it up when there was a sale for it. I can't remember who hosted the stitch along, so I'm not going to try to guess, but I never started it. So that one is on the list, and then I also have in print this Pedal Pusher pattern called Vintage Centerpiece and Bouquet. This was a market release. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. 2025 it says. So I adore this. I love the colors, and I would love to have this in my whip pile as well. I'm not sure if I was going to pick a Pedal Pusher one for sure. I don't know which one I would pick between those two. Maybe the Vintage Centerpiece before Botanical. But I had the Botanical Study longer, so maybe, I don't know. Okay, let's see, I lost my spot. Okay, and then I have a Sprouting Lupine pattern. So I do have Nature's Journey as a whip from Sprouting Lupine, but I also last year wanted to start the Briar, and I did not get around to that for, I think that was for Allison from Cross Stitch the Globe's Princess Birthday sale that I was going to do that one. But I think I decided to work on a whip instead. So that one's on the list. And then I also have the PDF for Rose Quaker, which is by a German designer whose name I don't know how to pronounce. And I have had this kitted up. I have like a few of the DMC colors that I bought for it, and I have this piece of Picture This plus Murmur. It's a 28 count. So I would love to start Rose Quaker. That's another one that I bought and kitted up when other people were doing a sale, and then I just never started it. So that one remains near the top of the list. And then I have an Artsy Housewife pattern on here. I do have a Study in Pink as a whip, but I would not mind also starting Coffee and Eggs and having more than one Artsy Housewife whip. So Coffee and Eggs, again, I bought it a long time ago. I absolutely love it, and just for whatever reason have not started it yet. And then, okay, there's only a couple more PDFs. This next one is Secret Garden by Tiny Modernist. And I believe Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe and I were looking at Tiny Modernist charts for, I don't know if she was having a sale or what was going on, but I bought this one, and I don't remember if we talked about starting it or if Stephanie has started it, but that is another very pretty one that I would love to have in my whip pile. And then I also chose a Witchy Stitcher pattern. So I was in the Witchy Stitcher Patreon for a while, and I have a bunch of Witchy Stitcher patterns that I like, and I just haven't started. I have that thing where I forget about PDFs. They're just not, they're in the folder, they're all organized by designer or by holiday if they're freebies. I just forget that they exist. So I chose Yule from Witchy Stitcher as a possible start sometime later this year. Okay, the rest are going to be print charts that I can show you. So I think I put these in alphabetical order by designer, if you're curious, because I wanted to group together if I had more than one chart by the same designer, because I sort of would like to limit the number of whips I have for a given designer so that I can spread the love, but that's not really a rule, so I don't know why I did that. So anyway, the first one that I have is kitted up with fabric, and it uses DMC and I think maybe a couple there's like variegated DMC maybe, or étoile or something. But I have everything I need for this. It is Snow White by Ori TM. Sorry for the glare. And I have this piece of ancient cloister 32 count linen that was from the... Okay, it's by Starlight Alchemy. This was from a box, I think. I don't remember, but I think it will be perfect for this. So I would love to start that. I've had this one kitted up for quite a while, and I'm not really sure why I haven't started it yet. Next I have a Blackbird Designs chart. Blackbird. So this is from the Beatles themed collection, Magical Mystery Tour. I also have Strawberry Fields Forever, and I believe I bought the Long and Winding Road one. I haven't stitched any of them, but I would love to do this one first. And then I chose a Camelot Designs chart. So I found a bunch of these charts on eBay at some point, and I have a bunch of little castles, but I really like this one that's just this tower. It's called Once Upon a Time. So I thought it would be fun to try that, and I'll show you this little piece of the chart. It is like a hand-drawn chart. So I thought it would be fun to give this a try and see how it goes before I jump into the castles that I got. And then I have a Carriage House sampling, so I have two. So I have Matter's Choice, which has also been in my stash for quite a while. And I've almost started it several times, but haven't actually pulled the trigger. So this one is still on the list. But I have this piece of fabric that I know I got in a D-stash. Sorry, I'm showing you part of the chart. I don't know what this fabric is. It's like kind of rough, and I'm not sure that I'm actually want to use this. I think I matched it with this because it's all just like one color, monochromatic, and I could probably do 310 on this fabric and it would be fine, but I don't know that I actually want to use it, so I'd probably use something different now. And then the other one from Carriage House that I picked is this Willow Tree sampler. I also have more of the Hawkrun Hollow charts, but I already have the map of Hawkrun and Halloween at Hawkrun as whips, so I don't want to start any more of those. But I love this one. I would not mind adding this. Okay, and then I have a Little House Needleworks. I think this is the only Christmas themed pattern that is on my list. And it's like, it's not like in your face Christmas, but this is Lantern Lane. This one, despite being a small package, it is a large chart. I mean, it's one of those ones that I think is bigger than it looks. So it's, the stitch count is 199 by 125. And if you stitch it on 30 count linen, it's 13 1/4 by 8 1/4 inches. So it's charted in Belle Soie, and then they also give you a hand-dyed cotton option. So I would probably have to choose my own colors for this because it's charted in mostly Weeks of Classic Colorworks, which I would not use Weeks, but I like this chart. I like that it's Christmassy, but not like over the top, because I don't love stitching Christmas. And then the next one is already started, but not by me. So I found this on eBay. It's The Promise Kept. I was influenced by Megan, the Wide-Eyed Stitcher. She has this as a whip, and every time she shows it, I have to try not to drool because I just really like it. I like the little bulbs. I like the different textures in the flowers. So I found this on eBay, and this is all that's done, is just one little crocus bloom, and it has all these full skeins of DMC, and it's on just sort of like a cream looking linen. So I don't count this as a whip since I have not put any stitches in it, but it would be easy to add it to my whip pile, and I love it, so that's an option. Next I have a Crosswing Collection booklet called A Birder's Welcome, And I just love these because of the use of the empty space in these charts. So these two smalls are just like pieces of this one larger chart. But I just think it's so charming and cute and probably would not take very long to stitch. It would be pretty much all fiddly stitching. Like there's not a lot of blocks of color and there is a lot of back stitch. But there's also like, I don't know if you can see in this picture, but there's like some ducks down here in a little puddle. It's so cute. I love this. If you have this or want to stitch this, like I would start this with you easily. I don't care about the finishes. This one I would love to start. So let me know. Okay, next up I have a drawn thread. This is the Garden Gate. I have a few drawn thread charts. I think the only one that I've started I also finished, and it was a full moon one with a crow that I did. It was a very small one. But I would like to try this, one of the bigger ones that has specialty stitches and stuff in it. Okay, and then I have a couple of hands-on design charts. So the first one is Strawberries and Mint. This one is part of a collection. I think this is the only one that I actually have, but I figured I would try stitching this one, and if I like it, I will get the other ones in this little series. And then I also pulled these two, Botanical Bee and Ladybug Picnic. I would stitch the Ladybug first. But yeah, that's a contender for a new start, depending on the season. I love that. It's so cute. I don't know if I have a good fabric for this. I'd have to see what I could find. And then I have two heart and hand charts. So the first one is a Tiny Town. The only Tiny Town that I have stitched is Halloween Tiny Town. And I think this is the only other one that I have in stash, which is Blooming Tiny Town. So I would love to do this one. I'm not like set on stitching all of them, but I did have a lot of fun with the Halloween one, and I stitched it in a few days during October in 2024. So I think as soon as I got that one done, I bought this one, and I'll probably just do that. Like if I also enjoyed this one, maybe I'll pick another one. And then just recently I was very generously given a gift card to 123 Stitch in December, and one of the charts that I got with that is this little Be Kind from Heart and Hand. It's just a simple little chart, but I just thought it was cute and whimsical, and I like the ladybugs and the chosen animals. There's a turtle on there. I really like turtles, and there are not like a ton of turtle charts. Okay, next I have a couple of La-Di-Da. So the next one I'm going to show you is also one that I'm pretty sure I will start this year. I love this one, and I thought about doing this as a New Year like blessing sampler start, but I just wasn't in the mood for a new start, so I didn't. But this is Serbian Proverb by La-Di-Da, and it says, "Be humble, for you are made of earth. Be noble, for you are made of stars." And I love this one. So this is like at the very top of the list. And then I also pulled out this one, which is just I mean, the style is sort of similar, and the color palette, not the style of the letters, but like of the motifs. So I think these would look nice next to each other, but I would do this one first. Okay, and then I have a couple of charts from Perman of Copenhagen. I have more in stash, but I picked these two. It says, I think it's just misspelled. It's Antique Roses and Red Leaves. And then I have another one that is similar to this, that's Antique Roses and something else, I don't remember. But I've seen several other, there's like a maximum cross stitch chart that's sort of similar to this, and some other ones that are more popular lately, but I thought this one would be fun to try. And then from the same designer, I have this ABC collection like floral scripty alphabet that I think would be fun. I don't know if I would just do Like I could just do a J for me and make it into a teeny tiny pillow, or if I want to do the whole thing. But I think this would be fun and satisfying to stitch and have in my whip pile. Okay, another one that I used my gift card for recently is this Pineberry Lane Token of Love. I don't remember if I had like a plan in mind for this or what, but I like Pineberry Lane. I think the only charts I've gotten from them so far have been Halloween ones, but I like this one, so this one would be fun to stitch, I think. Okay, and then I have a couple Plum Street samplers. So I have had Spring Moon in my stash for quite some time. I have not stitched it. I have not done any of the moons. This one is my favorite. So that one would be fun to start. And then I also pulled Blackbird Fractor because Elizabeth at... No. Not Elizabeth. Rebecca. Rebecca at Beck Stitches Everything did a... she did a similar... She did like a video with things that she wanted to start, and this was one of the ones she showed, and she's like, if anyone wants to start this, let me know. And I thought about messaging her, but I know this chart is one of those ones that's bigger than you think. It's 243 by 114, and this is one of the first charts I bought when I found 123 Stitch, so it has been in my stash forever, but I just... It's almost like one of those ones that's like too pretty to stitch. I don't know. But it remains at the top of my, like, I'd like this in my whip pile list. So that's good. It's not like I bought it and I don't like it anymore. I just haven't started it for whatever reason. Okay, next is Rebel Stitcher Designs Let's Root for Each Other. This was a market release in I don't know what year, 2024. And I like it. I would love to stitch it. I don't know why I haven't. It would be pretty quick. Okay, next up is a Robin Pickens. This is Dandelion Wishes. This is another one that I just purchased with my gift card. And I really like Robin Pickens' style. I know she has she comes from like the quilting world, so a lot of her stuff is more geometric. But this little dandelion chart I just thought was so charming, and I think it would be very fun to stitch. So I grabbed that one. Now I have a few Rosewood Manor. So this first one was also something I bought from Market 2024. And I think this was one of the, like, you know how sometimes when you are shopping on a website, they sort things by like most popular to least popular. I think this was one of the least popular Market releases on like several of the websites because it was like at the very end. But I don't know, I just really like it and I want to stitch it, but I haven't started it yet. Can you see that? Yeah, I don't know what it is about it, but I adore it. So that one's on my list. And also recently with my gift card I got this one, Music Amongst the Trees. I like what it says. There is always music amongst the trees in the garden, but our hearts must be very quiet to hear it. I like that sentiment. You have to, it sort of goes with what I was saying at the end of my last video about just choosing to look for the things to be grateful for. So I like the sentiment. I love the trees and the colors. And also I thought that this one might be fun to do before jumping into And a Forest Grew, which I purchased last year at some point, I think, and I almost started a couple times. I do have a piece of fabric picked out for this somewhere, but I have not felt brave enough to get it going yet. So this one would have to be like, I would have to get some other things finished before starting this, but there might be a day where I just decide it's time and just do it. So it's on the list. Next one was inspired by Amy from Amy Loves Toads. She just recently finished this. It is Painted Flowers by Shakespeare's Peddler, and every time she shows this, I love it. And I think there's like a stitch along happening right now, and there's like a couple different colorways you can choose for this, but I would just do it as shown here on a dark fabric. the same way Amy did it. I think it's beautiful. I like the colors. So that's on the list. And then I have this Sheepish Designs Alpha Bird chart. I think I got this in a D-stash at some point, and I just really like the birds and the style of the letters, and I thought that this one looked like it would be a lot of fun to stitch. I have some other patterns from Sheepish Designs, and this one is my favorite. Okay, and then the next one I have is by Sub Rosa. This one has been in my stash for a while. I almost started it with my friend Judith at some point, and then didn't, but it's called Midnight Garden. I don't know if I said that already. And I don't think it would take too long to stitch. I think it's pretty. I would probably finish it as like a pillow. I even have a piece of fabric in here. I was going to do it on this light green. Okay, and then next I have the blue flower. So similarly to Kathy Barrick, I have a bunch of blue flower patterns. Like I have a pretty decent collection, and these are ones that I love so much that I'm like nervous to start, because what if I choose the wrong fabric, or what if something goes wrong and I don't like it and it's not perfect, because I love them so much. So these two are sort of tied. Night Walk Down and the Moonlight Sampler. So I have chosen fabric for these multiple times. I have thought about starting them multiple times, and they just stay in my armoire that's behind me, and I look at them every once in a while and don't stitch them. Okay, these two I also got with that gift card recently. These are the Prairie Schooler Prairie Garden, so it's 1 and 2, and I love these. I would love to have this in my whip pile. I'm not sure if I want to do all of the flowers from each, or if I would do them as smalls, or if I would like mix and match. I don't know if the squares are the same size, even if you can mix and match them, but I just think they're really pretty. I think I need to finish my Jeanette Douglas mini bouquets before I can start this, because in my head they're like sort of similar. I mean, it's like 12 little flowers, so that might be a rule. I don't know. We'll see. I've only got 2 left now. So one of them, this I got from Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe. It is Roseland, Woodstock, Connecticut, and I just love this house. It's sort of, I like the style. I like the I don't know how well you can see that, like the windows and everything. And it's not like, it looks big, but this is one that is not as big as it looks to me. Does it say it's only 126 by 103. So yeah, this one I think would be fun. And I have some other houses too, so I would do this one first and see if I like it, and then decide if I want to stitch the other ones. Okay, and then this last one, I don't know when I got this or where I got this from or what. It must have been, I think it must have been included with some other things, so maybe it was in like a lot from eBay or something like that. But it is Willow Hill Sampling's Flora and Fauna. Does it have a... I don't see a year on it. I don't know when it's from. I haven't... It's... Okay, it's 175 by 175. I don't think I've seen this before. Sorry, I don't even know if I'm showing it to you. I'm just reading the back. Okay, Flora and Fauna. And there's this like the roses in the center, and then big butterflies, and at the bottom there's a fox and a rabbit and the birds. And I just love this. I love the layout and how much space there is in between the elements. So like, it might be annoying to count, but like I just really like it. So I thought that one might be fun to throw in. And I'm curious if anyone else has this or has stitched it. And that is the end of my pile. So you can probably tell I'm a little bit nervous about sharing this video, because it might lead to me starting a bunch of things. But yeah, I have been, just as a little side note, I shared last time that I was going to do a strand a day on my White Winter Moth by Kathy Barrick. and I just became obsessed with it, and I stitched like over 1,500 stitches on it yesterday, I think, which is partly because my youngest kid woke up at 2:30 in the morning just like ready for action. So I was awake with him from like 2:30 to 7:30, and he was fine. He just wasn't sleepy, so he was doing his thing and I was stitching. And then we did take a nap after his big brothers went to school. But then I also worked on it in like the afternoon and evening. So I got a ton of stitches on it, and now I'm down to only one color. I'm only working on, all I have left is some white, and I think there's 2 like little tiny Quaker motifs that I need to do, but the rest is just like the left side of the moth's wing, and then I'll be done. So I think I might finish it today. I actually almost didn't film this because I just want to get that done. But the reason I bring that up is my strand a day or daily 30 or whatever is really working for me right now. So when that is done, I'm going to pick another 40 count project to put on my hoop. I had said before that I wanted it to be Nature's Journey by Sprouting Lupine, but I want to keep that one for spring since that's the section that I'm on. So I think next I'm going to put in my cottage garden samplings reindeer that I want to have done by the end of this month. And I think if I start working on that every day, it should be done pretty quick too. And maybe I can pick another one. But I'm like really excited about that. So why did I bring that up? I don't know. I'm finishing things. I'm still motivated to finish things, and like at some point I'm going to finish enough things that I feel like I'm ready for a new start. So I will maybe base what I end up starting on the response I get to this video. So if there's anything that you feel strongly that you think I should start, or that you would like to start with me, or you have as a whip already and you just want to work on it with me, let me know in the comments. And I will see which project comes up the most, and that will likely be my next new start. Unless I get really excited about one of those that I mentioned, like the Serbian proverb, or that birdhouse welcome one. I would start those today if somebody wanted to. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have seen any of these charts that are less popular, if you've seen anyone stitching them that you could point me to, or if you've stitched them, please let me know that. I would love to see. And otherwise, I hope that you are having a good weekend, or whatever day it is that you happen to watch this, and that you are taking some time to take care of yourself. I have been trying to light a candle every day just because it's winter, we're still in the darker months, and it's like a soothing thing that I can, light the candle, take a few deep breaths, and just sort of ground myself. So that will be my parting wisdom for today, is try to find a little self-care ritual, a simple little thing that you can do once a day, just to like get that chance to come to the present moment and take a few deep breaths and get ready for whatever is coming next. Okay, take care. Thank you for watching. Love you. See you next time.